So what's going on, Raider Nation? And welcome back to another pregame episode right here on the Raider Critique. I want to salute everybody who is over here in the chat. I see quite a few of y'all in there, but I also wanted to reach out and tell everybody, man, and I'm going to go ahead and put this over here in the live chat here, and hopefully everybody can see it. Our homeboy Spotlight, man, has got a GoFundMe up, and he is looking for a new place to live. This is his GoFundMe right here, man. And I actually have a co-host this evening. Everybody, please welcome my brother from another continent, Afakasi Raider.
What's going on, RC Chat Gang? How are we, fam?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's nice to see you here. And yeah,
Nice
I
to
was
see
just kind of promoting over here of something that you told me earlier on Instagram that you happened to run into and that you were promoting on your live as well was a GoFundMe for Spotlight Raiders Talk.
Yeah. I saw. First things first. Salute to everyone in the chat. I see you. I woke up this morning, turned on my. You scroll through your YouTube and that, and then I saw a post by Spotlight, and he's sharing out a GoFundMe, saying that he's now fallen on some hard times and he's homeless. So, look,
Hey, man,
I mean,
and
I'm not.
man, just go out there and help our brother, man. There's been many times where he's come out with content and he's, kept us in the loop, and he's done a lot, for us as Raiders YouTube. He's even come on my channel before to talk about the John Gruden email chronicles, and he's never really had to do that, man. He's always been an outstanding individual. And I mean, to be honest with you, let's go help our family. You know what I mean? Because that's what all this is about anyway, is unity, especially with all the division that we have seen this year with amongst ourselves, the Raider Nation, and also this football team.
We talk about how we're the nation. Okay, well, let's help a brother in need. You know what I mean? I'm not in the best of situations myself, but I'm gonna do my part and help where I can, even if it's just a share or even just $1, just to what you can. You know what I mean? If you can, of course.
If you can,
not everyone's in a position to be able to afford to help out because they're in their own dire straits. I understand that, but look, even a share or just $1 just to say that you can. If you can, fantastic. I mean, I know I will get onto the donating when I get the chance to. So let's help a brother in need.
I'm definitely going to get over there and throw at least $10 on his books. You know what I mean? I'd like to see, I'd hate to see a Raider brother go homeless. You know what I mean? And
yeah, for sure.
With the way we have a recession going on over here. Everything's inflated. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to keep going anyway. But
yeah.
So go help your brother out, man. And I want to salute everybody in here, man. Robert Pena, Bourbon, Al's Ghost, All Eyes on G. Man, it's good to see all y'all in here, man. Let's get this episode started. I've got the pregame lined up right here, and it's right off of ESPN.com. All right. And this is what they got going for us right now. The differential is that we are a 10.1% favorite to win, and they are an 89.8% matchup to win, plus 345 for the Raiders with a negative 455 for the Chiefs. That's the money line. And then, of course, the spread is by 9 points with an over-under of 52.5. Now, I'm not even going to look over here at our guys, man, except for maybe Josh Jacobs. But Patrick Mahomes has gone 417 completions for 622 attempts for 5,048 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Their highest carrier is that rookie Pacheco. He's got 162 carries for 768 yards with 4 touchdowns, while we have Josh Jacobs at 323 carries for a grand total, I believe that says 1608.
1608, yep.
Oh, wow, man. And 12 touchdowns. Travis Kelce's their leading receiver with 104 receptions for 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, and Devontae Adams rounds off ours with 69 receptions for 1,443 yards and 14 touchdowns. Now, of course, this game means nothing to us. You know what I mean? We're just really playing spoiler And the only two guys that I've seen so far that I can tell right here on our injury report is Josh Jacobs being questionable and Darian Butler being out. Now, the Chiefs are scoring 29.1 points per game. We're only scoring 23.9, and they're giving up 22.3 points per game while we're giving up 24.2. Their total yards is 428.1 per game. Ours is 370.2. Passing yards is 315.5 to our 247.7. Rushing yards is where we've actually got them beat, though, Raider Nation. They've got 112.6 on the ground per game, while we're averaging 122.5. Now, yards allowed, our defense is allowing a lot more yards, of course. They're allowing 353.1. In total yards, we're averaging 377.4. They're giving up 245.3 yards per passing game, and we're giving up 257.4. And rushing, we are giving up 119.9 compared to their 107.8. Now, they are on a 4-game win streak, and we are on a 2-game losing streak. So that's pretty much, your analysis here from ESPN. They're pretty much basically saying that we don't have a chance. You know what I mean?
Right. And on paper, you know what? I don't blame them. I mean, look at the record. They're 14 and what? 3? 14 and 2? What's their record?
Right. I mean, they're literally kicking down the door. And as a matter of fact, they're fighting for the number 1 seed. Now, and I didn't give the opportunity to shout out Devon Hamlet. And I'm glad that he's doing a lot better than he has been. And, that Monday night game was kind of crucial for the Chiefs. They really needed to find out on who was going to win that game. But this actually might even bode well for us because we could come in there and whip them up and basically take them out of that first seed.
Yeah,
I mean, jump on over here, man. So we got the Chiefs and the Raiders right here at Allegiant Stadium. Now, last week, man, it was completely red all over the stadium. I saw pictures. It really made me sick. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that doesn't happen this week off of Kasi. But we really literally have nothing to play for, and they're playing for the first seed. What do you think about this game, my friend?
Just on what you said about the all red, yeah, that was enough to make me want to puke when I saw that on TV. And I've noticed that that's been a trend for the last couple of games. Like the noise from the away fans has been very noticeable, and I want that changed sooner rather than later. But anyway, so back to the game. Well, look, for me personally, I'm going to use this myself just to evaluate, you know what I mean? Like from a fan's perspective, like, okay, what do we have from these guys? Like guys like Stidham, guys like, you know what? I'm actually hoping that we see more of Zamir White and Britton, maybe even Britt Brown. I don't think he's even taken a snap this year. So I'd want to see those two guys getting involved in the run game. I mean, look, Josh Jacobs has done a fantastic job. He's playing, he's slowed down the last couple of weeks, I've noticed. He's playing banged up. Like, all right, well, look, he's done very well for us. Thank you for your services. We're going to try and work out a new contract with you regardless. So I wouldn't be mad if we sat him. You know what I mean? Let these young cats come in and see what they can do. There's a reason why we're heavy underdogs in this game, but at the same time, we're playing with nothing to lose. You know what I mean? And the Chiefs, from what I understand,
playing for pride and poise in this game.
Yeah,
and what I would like to see, what would be good to see, man, is if we saw Britton Brown finally take the field.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I wouldn't be mad if, like I said, I wouldn't be mad if we rested Jacobs and just put them in under live fire, see what they can do. Defensively, I mean, we're signing linebackers off the street. You know what I mean? The last couple of weeks, and
at the end of last week with the 49ers, we were down to exactly 3 linebackers. That's all we had. 3 linebackers, man. So of course we're going to have to sign guys off the street, but with no Denzel Perryman, with him being gone on injured reserve. And then we have Chandler Jones, even though he's been pretty much non-existent all season, being gone on injured reserve. It's bringing in guys like Cleve Farrell to go ahead and finish out. And at least Cleve is going to finally, he's going to play the last game. Pretty sure this is probably going to be his last game as a Raider.
Yes, it will be.
You know what I mean? So I want to salute to him. I hope he has a good game. And he shows out to where some team will go ahead and pick him up and, maybe pay him a little bit. That's
He'll
for
get
sure,
picked
man.
up. But I mean, for me personally, like he's proven to me to be nothing more than a role player. So I mean, I'm sure there'll be a team out there that'll have a role for him. But I highly doubt that he will be a Raider come next year. But I mean, just going back to that linebacking core, I mean, we're razor thin there, due to injury, but like this has just been a constant trend for us year in and year out. We are always razor thin, even when we have all our starters healthy. I mean, it's been a position of weakness for too long now, and that's something I hope is a point of emphasis next offseason is shoring up that linebacker core. Because I'm high on Masterson, as you guys know, but he needs time to develop, and he's a UDFA. We need some better veteran presence. We need better burnout of our veterans when we bring them in. Outside of Perryman, it's been pretty bad to say the least. And we need other guys to step up too. I mean, Diablo, he's another guy I'm not really sold on. So, yeah.
Well, especially with him being hurt this year, I've always been a big Devon Diablo fan. I actually like him. He was leading our team in tackles for so many weeks before he got hurt.
I understand that, but he gets lost like no other in coverage.
He's not good in coverage.
He's terrible.
I don't understand how he was a
Me
safety.
neither.
Not being
he transitioned from being a safety to a linebacker, yet that's his glaring weakness. That's actually worse than every other linebacker on our roster is in coverage. Like it's glaringly bad seeing how lost he gets. And like, yeah, I understand he's getting the stats when it comes to the tackles, but like for me personally, just from the eye test, like he's chasing down people. He's not like making the play like in front of the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's still time for Diablo, but I'm not sold on him yet. He still needs development.
Right, and we need linebacker depth. After Blake Martinez pretty much walked out on this team, man, it's been downhill for our linebackers. But speaking, we're not going to speak of any certain quarterbacks' names, but we are going to give pride and poise and a little bit of respect to our new quarterback in Jarrett Stidham with his second start. His first start, he came out he was 22 of 34 for 365 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Now, maybe the second interception was, I don't know. I can't really say it was his fault because his hand did hit dude's helmet. You know what I mean? But
Cole Miller was being backed up like a Mack truck right into him.
Right. And that's been the fucking story all year long is that the offensive line is just being bullied straight into the pocket. Yeah. And what I liked seeing out of Stidham last week was something that we haven't seen in quite a while from the quarterback position was him not crumbling under pressure when the pocket collapsed. Yeah. And I'm not even trying to throw any shade and I'm not trying to throw any shit. I'm just telling the truth. You know what I mean? Our last starter, when you barely touched him, he would go down. Yeah. And, the thing is I don't want to mention his name for the simple fact that he has been out of the news.
And Critique has paused. Critique, you still there? Hello?
Kind of appreciate what quarterback we have now. And this is our starter. And regardless on whether it was the last starter here or whether it's a new starter, he's a Raider and we need to back him. And he played his ass off last week. He really did. He took that shot to the mouth, and we haven't seen a quarterback take a shot like that in quite a while and be able to get up with blood in his teeth and run down the field and celebrate with the wide receivers.
For sure. Yeah, I agree, man. Look, it's no secret. I was always a supporter of our former quarterback. I appreciate his services. Thanks for your services for the last 9 years. However, I agree with your sentiments on Stidham. Like, it was nice to see that he didn't crumble under pressure. He showed guts in the pocket, and when he needed to, he showed creativity, something that I felt, our last quarterback lacked a lot at times. Like, he would just kind of, he would make one look, 2 looks to his second read, third read, whatever, and then he would just kind of shelter up and crumble. Whereas Stidham, he showed guts and fortitude and was able to get creative and make plays. And I can really appreciate that. And, for me personally, he did everything he could to try and will the team to victory. It wasn't on him that we lost last week's game. And those 2 INTs either, I'm not going to hold him too much accountable for those. I mean, like the one was a batted ball and the other is, like I said, Cole, to me, it was the right read. He had Devontae Adams, on a one-on-one situation. He tried to execute and get the ball to him, but as he was throwing, he got the Colton Miller got backed up right into him, which caused his arm to kind of get hit and the motion, and the ball kind of lobbed up and it was intercepted. So for me, I'm not going to.
It literally bounced. His hand bounced right off Colton Miller's helmet. And you could tell. I mean, Bosa was. You could see the footage. Like I was seeing clips of Bosa just sitting there having his hands out. Like I know that's gonna fall short. Yeah. Like it was instantly red because the ball and the hand literally bounced off the top of Colton Miller's helmet. And Colton Miller's been getting bullied like that all season long.
I noticed that there was a few times that game where that happened where he was getting backed up like a Mack truck right into the quarterback. For me personally, he's had a really down year. I mean, we went into the year believing he was one of the better left tackles in the league, and he had been up until this season. Just for me, it just seems like, I don't know if it's a chemistry thing or something, but it was a noticeable drop off for me personally. Excuse me. I'll be right back. RC, give me one.
And yeah, man, Bulldog brings out a very good point that Stidham blew us all away. No one expected these numbers against that defense. And that's right, man. It was the number 1 overall rated defense in the league, and he put those types of numbers up. And I mean, that right there, you got to applaud, because I mean, I was one of the first ones who was skeptical. Like, I remember the Matt McGloin moment when he had to come in when Derek Carr got hurt. And of course, that didn't end well. And I kind of got freaked out there for a minute, but I'm just glad that Stidham stepped up the way he did. He showed a lot of poise, and he showed a lot of guts, and I can definitely appreciate that. Now, Davante Adams, man, the news on the Davante Adams situation is that, hey, and he, of course, I've got it written down on the quarterback that will not be named as of right now. But Davante Adams is staying a Raider despite on what the previous quarterback, he was the reason that Davante Adams decided to come here. He said he always wanted to be a Raider, and he always wanted to be a Raider before our former starting quarterback was here. So I boasted about it already on a video where I was telling everybody that I was wrong, that I figured that he was going to bail once our former starting quarterback probably got traded or released, which more than likely is going to happen. But thank goodness that this guy wants to stay a Raider, at least as far as I can tell. He wants to stay a Raider. From everything that he's saying in the press conference, it seems like he wants to be here. And hey, you can win championships with a guy like that, to the point to where he's even saying that if he wants to stay, he wants to be able to kind of handpick his next quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, we can speculate on who that might be, but we're going to leave that for another episode. Now, I'm going into the rivalry on this. The Chiefs lead this rivalry 69-53-2. Now, Raider Nation, we got to get this figured out, and the Raiders need to get this figured out too. Mahomes has been smoking us. And I've got actually a screen up here that I will share with y'all. This is on Yardbarker. Okay. And let's see. I want to make sure that I'm in the right spot here. But I want to move on over to where we can check that out. But they lead the rivalry 69-53. And I understand why, man, when you've got dudes like Travis Kelce who've been eating us up down the middle for the past 8 seasons, if not longer. You know what I mean? We are terrible down the middle, and that's why we were discussing the linebackers.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes consistently doing what Patrick Mahomes does. Travis Kelce tearing us to pieces every time we play against the Chiefs. When they had Tyreek Hill, he was another name that kept, pretty much leaving us in the dust year in and year out. So I mean, what? How many games have we won in the last 5 years? I believe once.
Yeah,
With that game
and
against
that,
the Chiefs when we played Kansas City in Kansas City. That's
right,
the only
and
time we've won, right? Am I wrong in that?
I believe so. I believe that's the only time we've won against the Chiefs in quite a while, since about 2014,
Right.
2014, 2015. But check it out. In Yard Barker, what it says right here for the Kansas City game, they're 13-3, and we are 6-10. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has put up tremendous numbers versus the Silver and Black. He's thrown more touchdown passes against the Raiders, which is 26, than any other team, and he's done it in only 9 games. Mahomes has also run for 2 scores while being picked off only 3 times.
Great.
So
Patrick
that's
Mahomes still
glaring.
doing what Patrick Mahomes does. Fantastic.
And I mean, that's glaring. There you go. 26 touchdown passes in the last 9 games. And what our secondary looks like, man, our secondary is absolute trash for some reason this year. Morig is not looking like the same guy. You've got, there is no more Jonathan Abram. All right. And we've got dudes like Tyler Hall in there who wouldn't be starting anywhere else if he was if he was on another team. You got Amik Robertson who's coming into his own, streaky. You know what I mean? Rocky Sin is hurt, and Nate Hobbs has not looked the same since he's been back.
No, he has not looked the same since he's been back, and since they transitioned him to the outside corner. I mean, I get it. They didn't really have much of an option because we're missing. Averett wasn't panning out, but he's out injured, and with our lack of depth in the cornerback position with Rocky Sin out as well, it's like we've got really no one left. Amik is doing, I think, a better job at that nickel. He's been a pleasant surprise for me. He's been doing okay at that nickel spot. Tillery has actually been a surprise too since we signed him. But outside that, like again, I was talking about the linebacking core. I'm going to talk about the cornerback core. It's another position of weakness yet again with our secondary. It's something that just hasn't been a point of strength for too long now, and I'm getting to the point where I'm pretty over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm getting tired of being eaten up by Travis Kelce. I'm getting tired of watching wide receivers run wide open down the middle while our guys are playing absolute terrible zone. You know what I mean? It's just Patrick Graham's defense does not look good. It really doesn't. At times it can look decent, but I think that's because the players, you know what I mean? Like they step up and make sure that things happen. Because don't get it twisted. The defense has kept us in these last 3 games just for us to fold in on the offensive side of the ball. The defense has put us in opportunities to win. We just didn't deliver on offense.
I wouldn't say that to Ozzy Raider. He would have a lot to say about that.
Well, but the facts are the facts. When you actually watch the game tape, you see that at certain key points of the game, the defense will make their stop.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I'm with you. I've said it time and time again. I've not been sold on Patrick Graham. To me personally, he hasn't shown me that he's supposed to be the savior and messiah of this defense. Sorry, my dog is making a lot of noise. Give me a moment.
It's unreal, man. What's going on, Gord? Thanks for stopping in. But I mean, talking about this game and what we've gone through as a fan base the last 2-3 years, I would like to play spoiler on this game. I would love to just go in there and smack them right in the mouth. Now, the last time we played this team, we only lost by 1 point, and I still think we got fucked by the refs on that. But now it's a whole different lineup pretty much. We've got a different man at the helm. You know what I mean? A different man at the helm who actually put up record numbers last week. You know what I mean? So it's going to be up and down on how this game's going to really turn out, but I really do think that it's going to ride on our defense versus their offense.
Yeah. My biggest investment is like I want us to win, but first and foremost. But for me, like I want to see what Stidham does. You know what I mean? Like I was pleasantly surprised with his performance. I want to see more of that with this week, and if he can show me similar, if not better, performance than last week, then you know what? I would love to keep him around and seeing if he can compete next season for that starter job with whatever we do at the quarterback, whether we bring in another free agent, whether we draft a guy. I wouldn't be mad at keeping him around. Give me a moment, sorry.
Well, and here's like the big ordeal. He's only been in the league 4 years. And
Yeah.
Josh McDaniel's system is pretty much the only system he's ever ran.
Yeah. I mean, 4 years, that's a good amount of time to be able to sit back and learn behind, like, you know, the likes of Brady and Carr this year and whoever else he's been behind. But, you know, for me, it's like, all right, you've had your time sitting behind these guys. It's now or never. You know, you're either going to show it that you belong in this league, or you're just going to be a forever backup. You know what I mean? And that's fine. If that's all he is, that's all he is. But yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see what he does. Hopefully he can ball out the way he did last week and maybe make a conversation of it at least when we keep him around next year. But as for, you know, I see a lot, you know, there's still people talking about former QB. For me personally, like, look, the only thing I care about with him is like, all right, can we get a trade for him, or are we just releasing him? Outside of that, look, I'm already over it. You know what I mean? Like, I was a firm believer in Derek Carr. We've moved on from him. That's it. It's been the end of the road. So I'm ready to. I've already made moves with whatever direction we go in, whether it's Stidham or we bring in a free agent, whatever.
And that's real, because honestly, I think that it's good for all sides, regardless on who's talking in mainstream media about how they're angry and what certain people are going to do and this and that. Look, the best thing for them to do is just go away with, some dignity. You know what I mean? Take what you know and what you've seen here and use it as motivation to help you do better on your next team.
He hasn't come out and said anything about the team. Like, he's just gone and
no, he hasn't, but his brother has.
Well,
you know
that's
what I mean?
His brother, you know,
and his brother is his brother. You know what I mean? His brother's going to be his biggest fan. And his brother's going to run his mouth. You know what I mean? And especially since he has a platform, he's going to definitely say something. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you this. I salute him for everything he did, because to bring the stability to the quarterback position for the past 9 years the way he did in a dysfunctional organization who was really literally just getting their feet wet after the owner died. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Mark was still pretty much getting his feet wet, and this was Mark's really legitimate first pick that he picked up that he believed in. You know what I mean? So I do salute him, and I do wish him luck in his future endeavors. I hope he wins a bunch of games, as long as he's not playing us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sorry, just real quickly. For me personally, like, I will not forget the good times that we had, especially like 2016, that run we had, and seeing the fans, hearing the fans on the TV calling out MVP, especially that. Remember that game where he came out with the glove after he like broke his hand or broke his finger?
His hand.
You know what I mean? And the dead silence of the crowd when he broke his ankle. I believe it was against the Colts. And, you know, that for me is my most heartbreaking moment as a fan. But, you know, it's maybe you'll understand this analogy. You know, it's like that quote from Batman: "You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself turn into the villain." And it seems like with a lot of Raider fans, that seems to be the case with Derek Carr. But I haven't forgotten.
And that's the sad thing about it, because he did a lot for this team, played hurt. You know what I mean? Put it all on the line and always said that he wanted to be here. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is where I'm going to end it at when it comes to DC4. Okay? He bet on himself when he took that major contract. All right? He bet on himself. They gave him everything that he possibly could want. You know? And, I mean, they really did. I mean, they brought in Devontae Adams. You know, he had Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow for about 57 snaps this season because they were hurt. And believe it or not, the number one rusher in Josh Jacobs really helped him out being back there too. You know, but what we saw out of him, you know, he bet on himself, man, and they gave him everything he wanted, and he failed.
He did. Yeah,
He failed.
look. I'm not. Again, I was always a Derek Carr supporter, but at the end of the day, I always said we needed him to be great this year, and he wasn't able to do that. And it seems like it was time to move on. But for me, I just personally don't. I don't understand a lot of the disrespect that he's been getting since seems like we made moves. Like people telling him, like saying Carr and F off and all that. It's just like, he gave us 9 years of stability. Okay, whatever side of the fence you're on, whether you wanted him around or whether you wanted him out, I believe he deserves better than how a lot of people have treated the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
So
me too, because he definitely deserves our respect. And anytime we see him in public, we should buy him lunch. You know what I mean? Because he did.
I wouldn't go that far. He's pretty rich. He's pretty rich.
Pretty damn rich. He might be able to buy me lunch every once in a while, but to be honest, I salute him, man, because he, before him, we were barely brushing 8-8. I remember when we used to celebrate first downs because we weren't scoring in those games. You know what I mean? I remember those days.
Do you remember that one game with Bruce Gradkowski? I think he ran for a first down, and he was like, first down, and celebrating. It's like, we're down 33 points.
Exactly. We're down 33 points, and we're celebrating a first down. I mean, but it is what it is, man. It's time to move on. Let's just put it this way.
Move on.
If he would have did the Tom Brady-esque kind of thing and took a more of a friendly deal, I think maybe he'd still be here. But for the price that he's wanting for his contract of the $121 million for 3 years, for a guy who's putting up 28 touchdowns and 14 interceptions with 3,000 yards passing, you got guys out there who were doing double that, who were making less. And that's it. The writing was kind of on the wall. As much as I like Derek Carr, I kind of understand the move and why we're moving on. But also seeing Jarrett Stidham play as well as he did last week kind of helped the healing process go a little bit faster.
It's encouraging. It's enough to give it's one game, but a little bit of hope. You know what I mean? Like that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully there is going to be. I just hope that it's sooner rather than later, if you know what I mean.
Right. And I was celebrating a touchdown. Hey, we lost, but hey, we scored no 7.
I've been like that many a times. Remember
the only time that we would ever see an 07 Raiders score was when we were playing Madden. You got to kill it with Jamarcus Russell and Jacoby Ford. I'd kill it with them, dude.
We would always be terrible statistically in those Madden years between 08 and 2012, but where the Raiders would be elite is in speed. And if you got speed, that's something that would allow you receivers to get wide open, even though statistically everywhere else, like their catching sucks and all their route running sucks. But their speed's great.
On 80-yard bombs.
I did the same. Darius Hayward Bay, Jacoby Ford. Just run a go route.
Right. But anyway, I hope everybody has enjoyed this week. I've actually gotten some news over the week, and I told y'all that I would go ahead and tell y'all all about it when I finally went live and actually got everything situated. Well, I just found out about a week and a half ago that I have a 16-year-old daughter that I had no idea existed.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So thank goodness it's the end of the season. I'm going to have to rate her up once more because I got to get my girl out of some trouble that she's gotten into. And it's actually kind of nice that I'm actually going to be able to get to meet her and be a part of her life because I had no idea that she even existed. And to me, it's a huge shock. 16 years ago, I was playing in a band and I barely was, having anybody in the crowd. And, back then was, it was pretty much a haze, to say the least.
Congratulations though, Matt. But also kudos to you for not just trying to walk away from the situation. I can always appreciate and respect when a man is able to step up and want to be a part of their child's life. For me personally, I will never understand why anyone would want to feel otherwise. But shout out to you for being a real man about the situation. Good on you, man.
Absolutely, man. I put the shield on my chest for a reason, man. I'm I'm Raider through and through. I will commit to excellence and I will refuse to fail. And that girl needs her daddy. You know what I mean? And she needs a stable home life, and it's something that I can definitely provide. And I've
Hell yeah.
already got custody of my 3 children from my last marriage. You know what I mean? So, why not bring her into a nice, healthy family life that is backed by the Raiders, the family
Hell yeah.
legacy, you know what I mean? And just raise them right. That's what it's all about, man. I got to Raider up and take control of the situation. You know what I mean? Kind of like how I had to do back when I had to drop the channel off before. But I do appreciate every single one of you guys, man, because you guys have made it extremely fun to come on YouTube again. We are completing the 2022-2023 season right here on the Raider Critique on the post-game episode for the Chiefs game here, because we won't be going into playoffs. And then after that, I will be doing a cut and keep list of everybody on the roster. So that'll be the season finale that will be ending right here. And I'm just
I'd love to be
really
a part of that. For sure.
Just really appreciative that all of y'all, man, all y'all new YouTubers and all my new subscribers and, all these guys like yourself that I've gotten to collaborate with. And I've been wanting to do this show with you for a while, brother, because it blows my mind that you're in Australia and you're a Raider fan. And that's just, that warms my heart more than anything that you could ever possibly know. Because just to know that we stretched that far.
Hell yeah, you do. I appreciate that, brother.
American sport, you know what I mean? So it's great.
Hey, sometimes it doesn't matter where you're at. When it just silver and black blood runs through my veins, and I dare anyone to question otherwise. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm silver and black for life.
Man, I'm a Raider, and I commit to excellence. And that's why in the hell I'm so critical on this team. And that's why the hell we all should be so critical on this team. I can tell you this, if we keep losing the way we have been losing, and this is a hot take, you know what I mean? If we keep losing the way we've been losing, the only continuous piece that this organization has had that has been here the longest is not DC anymore. It's Mark Davis. So kind of let that sink in, Raider Nation. Let's hope that we can actually turn this around and the Tommy Boy of NFL owners can pull his head out of his ass and help us build a winning regime. Now, I'm going to talk about Tom Brady. I'm going to talk about all those other quarterbacks that are going to be free agents, but I'm not going to do it on this episode. You know what I mean? We'll leave that for another time. I just wanted to leave this as a pregame review for the Kansas City Queefs going to Las Vegas to face our beloved Raiders. And I wanted to do it right here with my brother Afakasi, man. And I appreciate all y'all in the chat. I want to give everybody a shout out. Ja Raider, Robert Pena, my mod, man. Thanks for being in here. Gord Peterson, D Menace. Let's see. All Eyes on G, Bulldog Bread. Yeah, man. We appreciate all y'all coming in here. JB, Bourbon, Nate U08. I think that's how you say your name. Is that Nate U08? Is that how you say it? But
Nate
man, you guys have been Raphael. Look, man, you guys have been die hard with the critique all season long, man. And how many do we got in here, Afakasi? How many does it say we got in here?
I'm not an admin of your StreamYard, so I can't see.
Oh, man.
I mean, I have to go to your YouTube live, but it doesn't matter. Right. Just appreciate the ones that are here. You know what I mean?
It says that we've got 15 watching. So look, if none of you guys have a patch yet, for real, man, I want you guys to hit me up on Instagram, and I want to give you my signature patch that was made by Digital Press. Now, if you guys can email me at nathangunn@live.com, and gun is spelt with 2 N's. All right. Or you can hit me up on Instagram with an instant message or a direct message and give me your PO box or your address to let me send one of these to you. Now, I'm going to tell you what exactly I've got going on with these as well. What everybody who receives one of these is going to go into a drawing to get one of these.
Oh, that's badass.
All right. Now I've got 6 of these coins that have been just sitting over here, and I've been looking to give them away. The reason why I haven't really been giving them away yet, because I wanted to figure out a perfect way to do it. Now, after coagulating with a few of my buddies, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way. So this pretty much gives you, you get one of these patches, man. Don't let me flip it around like that. But you guys get one of these patches, and it's gonna put you into a drawing to get one of these coins. And I will directly send it to you. Now, these are authentically made by Raider Nation for Raider Nation. And literally, bro, if I shut off the light, the eyes glow. Like, no joke, the eyes glow. Could you imagine seeing all of these in Allegiant Stadium? Like, that would be badass. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to get that out because, I run into a lot of cool memorabilia over here made by Raider Nation. I definitely want to get it out to every single one of you. So I want everybody who is in the chat to hit me up. You got to be subscribed to the channel, though, man. So subscribe to the channel. I'm only 4 away from 500. I've been on here since 2009. Don't you think your boy should have at least 500? You know what I mean? So go and share it on your social medias, man. And don't forget to hit me up and get one of these patches and get in for this damn drawing for one of these coins, man. And I'm going to be giving out these coins periodically and sporadically throughout the off season.
Hey, RC, I just saw that. I think you and I both have the same amount of sub numbers. I think you're at 496. I'm at 496 or 495.
Right. Come on, hook your brothers up, man. Get us to 500. I mean, Afakasi's been out here and he's sporting out there in a different continent, man. I'm talking like what are you, a 14-hour difference from me?
I think so, I mean? Yeah. 16. If you're on the West Coast, it's 16 hours. But I'm with you. I actually started in this Raider YouTube game, I think maybe not as early as what you did, but my first Raider content was actually 2013. It's been a slog, man. It's been a slog. But hey, one sub at a time, we'll get there.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, man, my numbers dramatically increased because of this season. And because of going out here and mingling with all these other YouTubers, man, and just trying to preach unity. And hey, man, I got Hardcore Raider to come back and I watched his numbers spike up, man. Thank you all for doing that for him, dude. That gave him the drive to get back out here and start doing this again. And it was all because of you guys, man. You guys brought my partner back. Pretty much I guess it would be kind of, my Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless kind of ordeal when it comes to that guy, because we disagree on a lot of things. And we get some good heated conversations. That's for sure. But I do want to thank everybody for coming in, man. And thank you for stopping in for the pregame episode for the Raider Critique. Afakasi Raider, man, why don't you tell them where they can find you to where you can get up to 500 subscribers?
Well, thanks for having me on the show. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to be able to chop it up with you. Look, I mean, I see a lot of the names in the chat. They're already active in my chat feed and already come over and, are part of my community, which I do appreciate. If you haven't already, I'm Afakasi Raider. That's AFAKASI. AFAKASI Raider. That's where you can find my channel. I do Raider live shows with my Raider World Order brothers. Shout out to Auntie Six and Raider Joe, as well as some of the Australian guys, as well as I do some Madden gaming. And, I like to chop it up and get on the live scene and get active and just commune with my Raider brothers and sisters. But also, just before I go, I just want to shout out again to, what we were talking about with Spotlight. I mean, I wasn't able to share the link in your chat feed because I'm not a moderator, but I think most of the guys in the chat feed, they know who Spotlight is. So if you can, Spotlight Sports is his YouTube channel. If you're in a position where you can help him out, please do. He's fallen under some hard times. I mean, I've been watching a lot of his stuff since I found out about him, I think 2 years ago. And for me, I don't want to see any of my Raider brothers and sisters struggle. I mean, I'm not doing the best myself, but even just to share or just a little bit, just to show, what, I care, I will help. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I'm going to pin it in the comment section of this video for anybody who checks out this live after the live is done. But, you go help our brother Spotlight, man. I mean, he has been there for us. I've talked with the guy out off the scenes. I've talked with him on camera, and, he's an extremely good person and really big hearted. And I mean, who wants to watch a Raider brother up north, man, go homeless? It's really cold up there right now. And just, man, and it's only going to get colder, man. February is the coldest month of the year. So, help our brother out, man. I've got the link posted right here. I've got it highlighted. You can also find it at the very first comment in the chat. You know what I mean? And I'm also going to post it in the comments section. But hey, man, we're going to get out of here and we're going to be optimistic this week. You know what I mean? We only lost to this team by 1 point last time we played them. And now we've got a mobile quarterback who can move his happy ass out the pocket and find the receivers. And the receivers can actually start moving around and doing those crazy routes like what Renfrow is used to doing, because the quarterback is now able to buy time in the pocket and buy time to throw the ball. So get creative. And I think that's exactly what this that's what it should state on Jarrett Stidham, man. Jarrett Stidham, hashtag get creative.
Get creative. Make shit happen. Just by any means, get it done. Just win, baby.
Hey, and just in case, if y'all forgot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I came here, I wouldn't have been here or ended up here originally probably, if Derek wasn't here. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I won't be here, in the event that he's not here. That's my boy. Obviously, I got his back through anything. I think I've made that more than clear at this point, and I support him and support everything that he has, moving forward as well. But my dream was to play for this team before he was a Raider, obviously, and at this point, I want to, obviously try to make this thing work and continue on doing what I'm doing here, and myself get better, and obviously see the team grow and get better as well.
That's right. That means he's going to stay here.
Thank Christ.
You know what I mean?
Thank God. I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of worried that if he was to force his way out, we'd be nosediving even further. So,
man, I wasn't happier about anything else. I was like, well, at least that happened, because after that first locker room interview, I was like, oh man, he's gone. He's gonna bail.
I thought it looked like he could possibly bail too, but after hearing that, that's kind of giving me a sense of security, knowing that like he's ready to move on and forward with the Raiders and try. I like what he said. He's going to try and do everything he can to make this work. So,
yeah, and I mean, he should. With all the money he's being paid, he better make this work. And you know what I mean? Because he was brought over here. Yeah, they suckered him over with DC, but you're here now, so might as well make the best of it.
He made it happen with Jarrett Stidham last week. So,
and I mean that's pretty much, I think, the way the organization is doing it. They're strong arming him to be here. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. It's a business, and I hate that it's a business, and I hate how business, how it works, man. But it doesn't become worldwide by being soft-hearted. And I hate to say it that way because I don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid, man. I don't, never have. I hate how they operate because they are fueled by, they're money driven. You know what I'm saying? They're not game driven. And that's what I am. You know what I'm saying? Game and competition. That's me, man. The money really don't matter. I just want the players taken care of and make sure that they're good to go. But the NFL, the ridiculous amount of money that the NFL makes as a whole is ridiculous. It literally is. It's ridiculous. But then when you're that damn good, I mean, you are the best. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the best sport on the planet. What else you guys going to do? You're going to go watch baseball? You'll be asleep by the third inning.
Or you could come to Australia and watch cricket. I'm sure that will pull every single one of you to tears.
Yep. But, the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar business, and they're going to make multi-billion-dollar deals. And if it means sitting the quarterback to make sure he doesn't make $44 million instead of the 35 that he is initially owed, then so be it. I mean, it's just something we got to move on from, Raider Nation. And I see way too much division over that certain subject. We
too.
need to just move on and rally behind our new quarterback.
Yeah.
Whoever that's going to be. Right now, it's Jarrett Stidham.
Whatever side of the fence you were on, all right, whether you were a supporter or whether you were a detractor and wanted him gone. Look, he's gone. Get over it. Let's move forward and move on.
And I'm going to end it on this note. It's Raider Nation for life, but it's never going to be Tom Brady.